Welcome to the PI Podcast, your destination for everything NFL, discussing the latest news and providing in-depth analysis of every NFL game. And now, here are your hosts, Ian and Tesh.
What is up, guys? We, uh, yeah, I was supposed to go live yesterday. I wasn't feeling good at all, so I went to bed all day. Yeah, I had a bad headache yesterday. Otherwise, I would have been live today. But yeah, today, as always, recapping week 3 of the NFL, and unfortunately, got took about 30-0 against the freaking Panthers. I at first it's embarrassing when you don't go out there and get shut out and score 0 points. It's even more embarrassing when that team is one of the worst teams in the NFL and you can't move the ball past the 30-yard line against that same team. Uh, it's really just an embarrassing from the offensive standpoint, defensive standpoint, even though I think the defense wasn't horrible yesterday, Sunday. Uh, and from a special team standpoint, that was pretty bad as well. So everything that could have went wrong, and now we're sitting at 1-2. Um, I'll keep going. Michael Penix did not look good at all. For the first time ever in all the times I've seen him start, he looked like a rookie quarterback. Uh, he was questioning his own decisions when throwing the football. There were times when the usual throws he makes to a wide open guy, he literally just zips it. He knows where the decision is going, and he just zips it into the receiver's hands. And Sunday, he, for the first time ever, I saw him hesitate. Now, I don't know what caused him to hesitate or what got in his mind to make him double guess himself, but he hesitated multiple times Sunday, which led to multiple stall drives, which led to incompletions, and what led to one interception. So, just starting from his standpoint, he wasn't playing as like Michael Penix. The run game did get going, but we didn't utilize the run game that much up until it was already 17-0. So there you go. The run game was going well, and then we got away from it. Penix starts double guessing himself, and then everything went downhill from there. And then talk about defense. Defense allowed a 4th-3 to Ted McMillan, who's an animal. He's a really good receiver for Carolina. But you do that, and then you allow a big touchdown run from Bryce Young. That was really the only weak spot from the defensive side. Other than that, the whole game, the defense actually made the offense look like they were the worst team in the NFL because the defense played decent enough. The offense just couldn't stop turning the ball over. And from a standpoint, you have to be able to consistently get past the 30-yard line. You got to consistently hit kicks, and that's another thing. Field goals. I never liked that we cut Young Hoku that early after one game from Parker Romo. Especially, I know he went 5 for 5 in the Vikings game, but he his two kicks, literally 2 out of the 5 were over the upright. Like he barely almost missed that. Like it could have been misses. And the coaching staff was just like, okay, he's our guy. He's not gonna miss. And then We get to Carolina, and he misses 2 straight field goals. So, and I think it was premature to cut Young Hoku. I know he didn't have the greatest season last year, but I think it was premature to cut him after one more miss, especially in that game when he made all the other kicks. I think it was very premature, but now Young Goku's on the Giants practice squad. I doubt we're going to re sign him, even though I think we should sign him to the active roster and just cut Parker Romo. Now we have this Ben Saul guy. Look, we're about to get into kicking woes, kicking problem, and for the first time in, I'd say, since Matt Ryan got drafted, or even before that, we're gonna have kicking woes because we were fortunate to have Matt Bryant for so long, and he was really really good, and then we got fortunate to get young Goku in his prime, and now it's not looking good kicking wise. So as Raheem Morris said after that first week 1 game, they're gonna have to build the offense around situations, especially if the field goal is too far away, because there's no guarantee that we're gonna make the field goal and get points on the board. So there are gonna be certain situations, I believe, in this Washington game where Raheem Morris will go for it on 4th and 4, 4th and 5. Not too crazy though, like 4th and 6, he won't go for it. But if it's on the other side of the opponent's side of the field, then I have a good chance he's gonna go for it, especially if it's like a 4 to 9 yard field goal or more. And yeah, and if the kicking game's not looking good, if he's not confident enough, we'll see a lot of 4th downs. Unless we get 1st down before we get to 4th down. That's the best thing I could say about it. Uh, it was just a horrible day from top to bottom, from offense, defense, and special teams. It was the most disappointing loss I've seen in years from this team, and this team's not supposed to get shut out by the Carolina Panthers. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the coaching staff is doing in pregame. I don't know if the team thought the Carolina Panthers were so bad and undermined them, like just didn't see them as competition. I don't know. It was just a bad showing all around, and I just don't understand how we can go get shut out by the Carolina Panthers in a game we're supposed to win. It just constantly with this team every year we lose the games we're supposed to win, and it ends up costing us at the end of the year just because we could be like, oh, we're supposed to win that game. Oh, we're supposed to win that other game, especially like the Buccaneers game. Young Oku makes that kick, we go to overtime. Good chance we win the game. Carolina game, just flat out didn't try, and that's the team we're supposed to beat. And at the end of the year, it's gonna cost. Those are 2 games, 2 division games, I should add. That it's gonna cost us at the end of the year, and it's a good chance that we miss the playoffs because of these 2 division games. And I know it's week 4 now, or week 3, or no, week 4 now. Damn, that went quick. Week 4 now, but it's it's very discouraging to see your team get shut out by a team that is not very good in all cylinders. Damn, about to go on, dude. Dude, don't even ask. I just went on a rant for like, wait, how many minutes was I going for? For 10 minutes, I just went on a rant and I'm not even done. Jeez. How you going, Tim? How you doing, dude? Oh, man. It was such an embarrassing loss. I swear. I just don't understand how this team can do that and somehow I don't even know. Best game you ever seen. Hey, well, I'm glad you got to see a win in person, Tim. I'm glad for you. I'm happy. Oh my goodness. Oh, everything went wrong, Tim. Everything went wrong. The only good thing I could see from that was the defense, but other than that, the special teams and offense was horrible. Uh, Panics was bad. The receivers were bad. It doesn't go much lower than that. And to start the season 1-2 when we're supposed to be 2-1, It just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, this coaching staff's got to figure it out soon, or we're just gonna cut. We should just fire Raheem Morris by week 5. I mean, if Fett was flocking the wait, what do you mean? Oh, they were leaving. Oh my god. Yeah, probably as soon as Penix threw that pick, right? The pick 6, I'd assume. Um, oh man, that was an embarrassing loss. I mean, from top to bottom, you cannot play like that, especially against the Panthers. No offense to your team, Tim, but uh, that's that team is not very good at football, and we didn't even try. I mean, it looked like we didn't know what to do. I, and I talked about it a second ago. Literally, literally, this is one of the games that could cost us at the end of the year, trying to make it to the playoffs, and it's just this team. They just love to lose games they're supposed to win. I don't know why. I don't know what it is with the commu- the staff. I don't know what it is with the culture there. You 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 can't win. You can't win. You can't win playoff games. You can't go to the playoffs if you're losing stupid games like this. Yeah, Bryce didn't play very good. Our defense did a pretty good job on him. You could say that. Well, if you watch the game, you could say that. But like 30-0, you automatically assume the defense is horrible. The defense wasn't horrible at all. It was mainly the offense that screwed us over, and special teams. Um, but didn't have. Yeah, he didn't have any turnovers, which is good. But being up already 17-0 in the early third quarter, he really didn't have to do anything. I think he only had 130 yards passing and stuff like that. So our defense held them. It's our offense could not get anything going, which doesn't make any sense when you have Trevor Lawrence. That Jaguars team can be good, but the Jaguars offense, Trevor Lawrence himself, who was having an up and down season, um, you let that team beat beat the same team you lost 30-0 to, beat the Panthers 26-9, and then the Arizona Cardinals blow them out basically, and then they Panthers almost came back, but I just don't understand this team sometimes. I know it's a division game. I mean, division games are always can't go either way, but 30-0, I am so embarrassing. I, oh my god, it just does not give me any hope for the future. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna blame. I'm not gonna blame Penix because I mean this is 6th start. I'm not gonna jump the wagon and say he's horrible because he's not. He can throw the ball with as much power as any quarterback in the NFL. He can. He's basically a vet. Like the way he's been playing up until this game, he looked so confident, so comfortable. That looked like he was a 10-year NFL vet. Uh, so I don't know. I just don't want to see something like that again. And if we do see something like that against Washington at home, where the offense can't going, or you have to fire Raheem Morris. I mean, you have to. It just is no other option. I mean, we can't have that performance again. I'm all for sticking it out throughout the season, but like after having that loss, if you do it again, someone's got to get fired. And it's not. You got to fix something, especially when we're running pistol all 24/7. I do not understand why. Maybe it worked with the run game last week, but you can't keep running pistol. It gets predictable and repetitive, and defenses easily figure you out. Yeah, I. Congrats, Tim. Hope you had fun there. That just was embarrassing. Like, man. Oh, okay, go off, Tim. Go ahead. You can say whatever you want. All right. Well, I won't remember that game ever again. I know you will, Tim, but I won't. I won't ever remember that game. Then we got the and it was upset week actually in the NFL, believe it or not, because the Browns beat the Packers, and I kind of had a feeling it was going to be a defensive game, but I didn't know to this extent. Uh, I thought Jordan Love and the offense would have been able to figure it out, but I understand why the Browns defense ate, because the Browns are a really good defense. Honestly, if they had a quarterback, they they'd probably be 2-3-0 right now. And check down Joe. Joe Flacco's checking down every play. That's why these games have to rely on the defense. Jordan Love and the offense, they're a pick your poison team. Like they don't got a true star receiver that will take over games, so they got to spread it out, and that kind of helps the defense because once you take one guy out and you have a second guy that's if you don't have any superstars on your team, they can't they can take everyone away easily, especially if you're a really good defense. And Jordan Love tried his best. That offense tried his best, but just kept stumbling. And then he made the big mistake at the end. I don't know what he was thinking, but he just in a very tight game against one of the worst offenses in the NFL and not worst teams in the NFL except their defense. Jordan Love just throws the ball into the defender's hands. He makes the biggest mistake of this game. Uh, honestly, it goes up to leading to a touchdown drive for the Browns, and then the Packers kick gets blocked, and Browns scored a game-winning field goal. So the Packers, which we thought it was going to be a blowout, they showed they're not invincible. Jaguars and Texans was another really tight game. Actually, the offenses were not good. CJ Stroud did not get anything going. Trevor Lawrence in offense got some things going, but they didn't look great either. So this is a defensive slugfest. It ended up being the second interception from CJ Stroud that ended up winning the game for the Jaguars. Uh, there's something wrong with the Texans, honestly. I don't know what it is. That offense has got to figure it out. They're 0-3. They don't have a good schedule. They got to figure it out. Otherwise, their season is gone. They have a really tough schedule if they don't put some wins together. The Texans, they could have won this game, and they blew it. They blew it. Honestly, that's all I can say. But Jaguars 2-1 now, and the Colts are 3-0. So the Texans have some work to do. Uh, and like, and another game I didn't expect would be a blowout. The Vikings beat the Bengals 48-10, and if you had the Vikings in fantasy, you had almost as many points as them in real life, which is actually crazy. 45 points from that defense on fantasy football. Absolutely insane. I played against the team. I played against the Viking defense, unfortunately, and I blew them. The Bengals and Jake Browning, I thought he would have been serviceable. I know that offensive line's horrible. That Vikings defense is good. Isaiah Rodgers had probably one of the best games of a defensive player's career. 2 touchdowns, a forced fumble touchdown, and a pick six. Had the highest PFF grade ever for a cornerback. 99.9. That's the highest ever for any player ever, which is actually insane. The Vikings defense dominated, and the Bengals could not stop turning the ball over. I think they had 6 turnovers, if I had to say. Jake Browning had 2 interceptions. Jake Browning, jeez, this is not a good game for them. They just had so many turnovers. There's a reason they lost 48-10. You can't have that many turnovers and end up winning the game. That's just not how that works. The defense had defense here. The two interceptions. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forced fumbles from that Vikings defense. 5 fumbles and 2 interceptions. That's 7 turnovers total. That's a death sentence for a team. You cannot have 7 turnovers in the NFL. Jeez. Look, even Jamar Chase fumbled the ball, so you know it was no fumble for the Bengals. So credit to the Vikings defense and Carson Wentz. He went in there and showed he was serviceable. The Vikings might look better on offense with Carson Wentz, which is actually crazy to say. But that Kevin O'Connell is a really good coach. Uh, yeah. If you guys have anything about that game you want to say, just go in the comments, stuff like that. Next up, we got Steelers and Patriots, which ended up being a fun game, pretty close game. Aaron Rodgers did not have a good game. He had like 120 yards. He had 123 yards, 139 yards passing, an interception. Even he himself said he didn't have a very good game. The Steelers got Jalen Warren going just a little bit, but they weren't overly great on offense. Their defense actually finally stepped up in this game. Drake May is actually putting together a really good season. He's not making too many mistakes, and he's kind of leading that offense a little bit. And he's the leader rusher again, 7 rushes for 45 yards, which is never a good sign um, for your team. You need to be able to run the ball, and they weren't able to do that. It ended up being a close game though, and the Steelers' defense prevailed. So it's a good way to get your defense hyped up. The Patriots defense, Patriots offense. I mean, we knew their run game wasn't very good. So if they were able to stop the run, they forced Rigme to pass all over the field again. Rams Eagles, maybe the game of the week. The Rams were up 26-9 in this game, and they had the Eagles dead to right, and the Eagles' offensive woes continued up until the end of the third quarter. Jeez. The Rams had him dead to right. AJ Brown got a huge catch, and it jump started this whole Eagles offense. Jalen Hurts started throwing accurately. AJ Brown started getting catch after catch, and a touchdown. The Eagles just came storming back. They were prepared. They weren't going to lose 26-9. And the craziest thing happened. 2 blocked field goals, back-to-back field goals. They blocked it, which is insane. They blocked a field goal earlier in the game, earlier in the fourth quarter, and then they blocked a field goal in the game winner, which is insane. I Jalen Carter's an absolute beast up that middle. I don't know what the leverage rules technically is, but it looked like he pushed off on the center, so I don't know. And the ref did push him a little bit, so I don't know if there was a little something going on with the refs. But that looked very, very sus. Next up, we got Jets and Bucks, which ended up being a really close game. Uh, one of the highlights being Aaron Glenn dancing on the sideline when they just got a blocked field goal for a touchdown. The highlight of the game, literally. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Aaron Glenn was running up the sideline, then he started doing his dance when they got the touchdown. It was awesome. It's the funniest thing ever, and awesome. But at the end of the day, they left like 2 minutes left for Baker and offense, and you knew Baker was going to go down and score. Baker's been really good in 2 minute drills this year. All the wins he's had are game winning drives under 2 minutes, which is insane. So, shout out to Baker. He has that clutch gene in him right now. Bucks are 3-0, unfortunately. But Falcons are going to come back. I believe we're going to be Washington this week. I'll talk about that more later on Saturday when we go over the games. But yeah, Colts Titans. Colts look amazing. Daniel Jones looks like a different guy in that offense. He's a contender for MVP. I have to say. Him and Justin Herbert. I'll talk about Justin Herbert in a second, but dang, the Colts put a beating to the Titans. The Titans defense can play good, but Danny Dimes clicking in offense. Jonathan Taylor's an absolute beast as well. Uh, they're just finding everybody. Tyler Warren's a beast. That was a hell of a draft pick. Commanders and Raiders. Marcus Mariota started for Commanders, and the Raiders lost. I would have thought that Geno Smith led Raiders offense would have been able to play a little better. But the Washington defense just came through with a big forced fumble as well. Marcus Mariota played a good game, serviceable game, what he needed to do. And last year we saw it from Marcus Mariota. He was able to run all over the field and win a blowout game. I think against the Giants last year. What's the refs up? They covered spread. Yeah, literally, Tim. Yeah, dude. As soon as I saw that's on a video. I don't know what's going on, but the ref literally pushed Jalen Carter to the right. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a ref do that on a field goal. Like maybe it's to help him in positioning because he couldn't be in the middle, but that looks sus. Like, and the fact that after that he got through and blocked a field goal for the game winner, even crazier. I don't know what to say about that. That's a very sus, if anything. But Commanders take that one. It was a fun game. Chargers Broncos was a good 4 o'clock game. That thing got to the wire. Justin Herbert is my MVP. I'm not even gonna lie. A highlight play of this game. He literally broke a sack, shrugged him off, went to the left, threw a zip to Keenan Allen for a touchdown right in his shoulder, and he had like 2 inches of separation from a defender. It was insane. It was probably one of the greatest probably the best throw I've seen this season from any quarterback. It's actually insane how well the Chargers defense is playing as well. And the Broncos, they're 1-2, but they could easily be 3-0 right now. Yeah, the Broncos are going to come back. They're going to win a lot of games. Their excuse me, deep. Patrick Surtain's an absolute beast. That defense could play good football. Unfortunately they ran into Justin Herbert on when he wanted to be Superman. So you can't stop it. If someone's going off having a season, it's Justin Herbert. Yeah, yeah, Tim Herbert is my MVP. He's gonna win MVP just based on these first 3 weeks of the season. He's the MVP. Uh, I'm gonna skip the Saints Seahawks one because we all know the Saints were gonna lose pretty badly, and they did 44-13. That Saints team is not a very good football team. They could be 0-10 by the season ends. So yeah. And then another upset was the Bears and Cowboys. Let me tell you, the game was tied 14-14 at halftime, and then the Bears just took over after not showing any sign of life against the Lions, allowing 50 plus points. The Bears finally got their offense going, finally got Caleb going, who had 4 touchdowns. 298 yards, 19 of 28, 4 touchdowns, 67% completion percentage. They didn't run the ball very well at all. And in Chicago, I'd add, just Caleb Williams went off. I mean, this is the Caleb Williams that number one pick was for. Like, if there's talent wise, how well you could think this quarterback can play, Caleb Williams can play. This was one of those moments. Like, this is the quarterback that Chicago drafted, and the guy that a lot of people thought he would look like. And if he keep his confidence going, it's gonna be even better for him. He had an amazing flea flicker throw, like the best throw of that game. Flea flickered almost got ruined because the running back ran into one of the linemen. And still, Caleb Williams threw like 65 yards, 60 plus yards to Luther Burden. Like it was, and flat footed too. He wasn't even stepping up or anything. He just threw a dime to Luther Burden in the air for 60 plus yards. It was insane. If you haven't watched that play, guys, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch that highlight. It's insane how that flea flicker worked. Ben Johnson offense started clicking a little bit. We'll see if they are able to do that next week. And another NFC West battle. For some reason, NFC West battles are always really defensive games sometimes, especially when you have the Cardinals and the Rams and Niners. It's weird. But 49ers beat the Cardinals 16-15 on last minute field goal from Eddie Pinheiro. And Kyler and that offense, in a game they were supposed to be able to get it going, they did not get anything going. And they need to get Martin Harrison going, honestly. If I'm being honest, the Cardinals offense got to get Martin Harrison going. I mean, you can't look, I get last season was a rookie, so rookie mistakes and stuff and things, but you got to get Mark Harrison going if that offense is going to be explosive. You got to be explosive as an offense. The 49ers are 3-0 and 2 games won by Mac Jones. So the 49ers are looking really good this year. And their defense is looking good without those key pieces that they lost in free agency. I thought they were going to be it was going to be tough with their defense, especially losing Hufanga and everybody. But hey, props to them. And then they took another injury hit because Nick Bosa's out for the year with the ACL tear. So that is very unfortunate for the Niners. Now they're left with they don't. That's their premier pass rusher. Now they have to go get a pass rusher. Um, look, that pass rush might have some issues now, but I still think they're a good team defensively. And then Sunday Night Football with Giants and Chiefs. I mean, Jackson Dart, we all know he's starting now. Russell Wilson did not look like Russell Wilson in week 2. He couldn't get anything going. He was constantly, as soon as pressure hit Russell Wilson, he just looked like a different person. You could see as the edge rushers were closing in on Russell Wilson, he just panicked so quickly, didn't know what to do with the ball, and sometimes and one time they were able to get it in the red zone, like beyond the 20-yard line. Russell Wilson just threw it back at the end zone twice. It was the most confusing thing I've seen. This Giants offense, they had to change the Jackson Dart. Russell Wilson did not look good at all. I don't know what his decision making is now. He's a shell of his former self, and I don't know why he's just playing like that. But I think we all knew the Chiefs were going to win this one, get to 1-2. But the Chiefs did win after they struggled in the first half, actually. And they finally found their offense with Tyquan Thorne of all people. And it's looking like Xavier Worthy's playing this week, so that's a good sign for that offense. And then Monday night was one of the best games of the week, and it was that because the Lions and Ravens, they were neck and neck with scoring touchdown after touchdown. They in the first half they copy each other. Literally, they'd go Lions score a touchdown, Ravens score a touchdown. If the Lions went 3 and out, the Ravens went 3 and out. If the Lions went go score another touchdown, the Ravens did the same. They just kept answering each other. And then the Derrick Henry fumble happened. Excited for that. Yeah, dude. I think in I know you can't really show much in preseason, learn much from preseason, but I think Dart has the arm and he has the talent to be able to play. It's gonna be exciting to see. I mean, there's never really a good with the Giants schedule. There's never really a good time to start him, but he's starting against the Chargers, which is gonna be a really tough challenge for Jackson Dart. Like that is putting Jackson Dart in a situation already for his first career NFL start. So that's gonna be fun to watch. And the Rave Derrick Henry fumbling for the third time in 3 weeks is kind of concerning, but he's Derrick Henry, so I let it pass. But he needs to fix his fumbling issue now because that was the only reason the Ravens lost this game and couldn't keep it tied, couldn't keep it competitive, was because of that fumble. That fumble, they stopped it for a field goal, the Lions for a field goal, which was good, but it ended up being a 10-point game after the fumble. So they weren't able to catch back up after that fumble. And Lamar, look, Lamar can only do so much, and when the pressure was constantly putting on him, he couldn't do anything, and he consistently missed Zay Flowers. Like there was multiple reps I've seen where Zay Flowers got open and Lamar either overthrew him or just didn't see him. So they got to get Zay Flowers more involved in the offense if they wanted to continue that success. And there were times where they could, and Lamar just missed him. So yeah, Zay Flowers was open that whole night, and Lamar just didn't see him. All right, so yeah, if you guys want to say anything about last week's games, just let me know. But about to preview week 4 Thursday Night Football. And we got another NFC West game. Seahawks and the Cardinals. They're both 2-1, and it's going to be in Arizona. Kyler Murray and that offense, they gotta get going. They're 2-1. They didn't really play. I don't think they didn't really play any competition yet. So this will be a good test because that Seahawks defense can play, and that offense can get explosive with JSN and Cooper Cup. JSN's looking like a stud, and I think that continues on the Cardinals in on Thursday night. Um, you miss Coop, yeah, dude, Tim. We should just resign him. Honestly, I mean, it just just sign him from the Giants practice squad. It should be as simple as that. I don't know why we haven't yet. We decided to sign a kicker named Ben Saul. I've never heard of that person in my life, and it's not looking good. Ben Saul. We don't have a kicker, and that's concerning. That's really concerning. We need to sign Koo like right now. I know people say, "Oh, we need to cut him," but look, I don't think he's gonna have. I think he's gonna be fine. I think we just need to sign Koo back, and I'll be happy. But our kicking situation is not good right now, so I'm a little worried about that. And if our offense can't get going offensively, dude, this season's not gonna go well. Um, but the Cardinals, on the other hand, just saw James Conner, so Trey Benson's getting the start. So see if they can find their run game with Trey Benson and company and the Team Ricardo. Um, Again, the Cardinals just can't get Marvin Harrison going because Marvin Harrison should be an absolute beast. He was an absolute beast in college, the best receiver in college football when he was there. And the Cardinals just haven't got him involved. Trey McBride's getting involved as always. He's a beast tight end. Kyler's just got a. He just. That offensive line for Arizona just. They haven't fixed it yet. That's the big problem here. These NFC West games are always tight. Seattle's offense, I think it's better than the Cardinals' offense, and their defense, I think it's better than the Cardinals' defense. So, I gotta go Seahawks here. I think the Seahawks are gonna win this one. I think it's gonna be 23-20. It's gonna be a tight game though. These NFC West games are always tight and are really competitive. If Kyler can get Marvin Harrison going, and their defense actually is able to get some turnovers from Sam Darnold, which he's prone to throw, then they can win this game. Uh, they got to get the Marvin Harrison going, duh, which they haven't been able to do all season. So do that and they win. But Seahawks, they're offensive. They got a good offense. They got a good defense. I think they win this game. What do you think, Tim? Seahawks or Cardinals? And it is delayed a little bit. I did realize that. I think it's delayed by like 10 to 20 seconds. So I'll figure that out before Saturday's stream, um, before Saturday's podcast. So yeah, I'll get that figured out. So there's no delay. Yeah, I've been noticing there's some delay. So Hawks. Yeah, I gotta go Seahawks too. The spread is minus 1.5. They expect it to be really tight, but I got Seahawks here. Cardinals got to show me they can get Martin Harrison going. And they took a big hit with James Conner after a season. Um, yeah. If you have any other questions, Tim, let me know. But I think that's all I have for right now. But if there's any questions you're gonna ask me or anything, just ask away. It's a Q&A portion of the stream, so let's get it. We'll be previewing Sunday's games Saturday, so we'll leave that and game picks. I'll leave to Saturday as well. And then we got a doubleheader on Monday night as well. Um, I look. I know people were complaining about the 10 o'clock game last 2 weeks ago, but I'd prefer the 7 and 10 o'clock games because you can actually watch the whole games. And now there's gonna be two games playing back to back, so it's not good. But yeah, should be a fun game tomorrow. And yeah, so thank you guys again for watching the stream and the pod. And oh my god, Tim. No, it was embarrassing. I tell you that. It was hard to watch. So I was ready to get to red zone as soon as that game was near the end. I actually watched the whole thing up until our running back fumbled on the last play of the game, basically, because they nailed it after. But as soon as he fumbled, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to red zone. So yeah, I didn't have any tears, of course, but especially because early in season. But don't worry, I have faith, Tim. When you meet us in Atlanta, it's gonna be a different story. It's gonna be a different story. We're gonna beat you guys so bad. We're gonna beat you guys bad when you come to Atlanta. So one way goes, you gotta go the other way. We're gonna give you it back. So get ready. Get ready for October. But yeah, thank y'all for watching the stream. I'll be back Saturday, going over Sunday's games and stuff. So yeah, thank you again, Tim, for watching the podcast again. It was fun as always, and I'll be talking about that Falcons offense a little more on Saturday. So it was a lot of fun. So thank y'all again, and I'll catch you guys Saturday. Peace.
Thank you for watching the PI Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and tune in next time so you don't miss the latest.
Thank you again, Tim. Thank you again for stopping by and watching the stream, Tim. Appreciate you as always. See you later, dude.
Thank you for watching the PI Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and tune in next time so you don't miss the latest news in the NFL world. You can also follow us on TikTok at PI Podcast and on Twitter at PI Podcasters. Until next